my name is Camille Gober, and I am a student at Tiffin University, and I am presenting my research on attachment styles and celebrity stalking behaviors. Just to start off, I want to give you a preview of some of the things that I will be talking about. I'm going to start out with an introduction to explain why I'm interested in this type of research. Then I'll go on to explain the purpose of the research and what I hope to accomplish through this project. The literature review will be brief, just to explain some of the research that's already been done in this area. There's been a lot of studies that have studied parasocial relationships and the way that it affects mental health, some of the benefits, and of course, some of the unpleasant things that can come from them. I will also talk about the methods that were used for this project, and then in the discussion, I will definitely touch on things that could have made this project better. And then areas of future research that I think would be interesting and beneficial. And then at the end, I'll include my references, which will also be cited throughout the presentation. So I, as many others, have an interest in celebrities, particularly the celebrity behaviors that we've seen over the last several years. I'm fascinated by reality stars, social influencers, people that are becoming famous now, and then the behaviors that we're seeing towards those people. So the concept of celebrity has existed for over a century in our society, with an increase in focus over the past several decades. Celebrities have piqued the interest of the general public for a really long time, with everyone from professional athletes to musicians, chefs, dancers. I mean, there are celebrities in pretty much every category to kind of gain interest from every type of person. So with the increase of social media, access to celebrities through Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, celebrities, they're so much more accessible on a regular basis than what they ever were before. So what we're seeing is where previously you would have to stand outside a concert venue or wait outside a sporting venue, they're so much more easy to get to know. They'll invite you right into their car with the use of their camera. You know what the insides of their houses look like. There are so many more things that we know about celebrities now than we ever did. And it really facilitates these parasocial relationships where people feel like they're in a relationship or a friendship or have some type of bond with these celebrities because of the information that they have. So what causes people to participate in extreme behaviors such as stalking or inappropriate behavior online? Are different attachment styles more likely to be correlated with celebrity stalking behaviors than others? How do men and women differ in these behaviors? The purpose of this research is to learn more about the relationship between attachment styles and celebrity stalking behavior, to learn more about differences between men and women in attachment styles, and how their attachment styles affect celebrity stalking behavior. I would also like to learn more about correlations between social media use and attachment styles, which could also be explored in further research. I feel like learning more about how social media affects attachment styles and how attachment styles affect social media use could really open a lot of doors to mental health treatment and even help us better explore crime rates when it comes to stalking and just inappropriate behaviors, harassment, things of that nature online and even in the real world. The future direction of this type of research could also provide information on the function of attachment styles in parasocial relationships and the ways in which social media influences attachment to others. So I think that learning more about how parasocial relationships could be a benefit would be very interesting, and kind of learning how to use these unique sort of bonds that we have with celebrities and people in TV shows or movies or music to facilitate healthier connections in general and cope with loneliness, depression, anxiety, things like that. To prepare for this project, I did a literature review where I looked at parasocial relationships, social media, and attachment styles. And I found research published by the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus reports that previous research is often at an impasse as to whether men or women rank higher on the celebrity worship scale. Some of this is because men and women view celebrity worship in different ways. So sometimes men may be more aggressive, while women tend to be more persistent. Researchers have also described social media as the prime environment for facilitating parasocial relationships, as it provides some access to celebrities in which contact can actually occur in the form of messages and comments with minimal effort on either party. For example, if somebody is using Twitter and they follow a famous musician such as Rihanna and they comment on her post, Rihanna can easily send a quick comment back, maybe not even really thinking anything of it, not really looking at the person's profile to see if they appear to be emotionally stable or if they're kind of obsessively posting about her. And that will really kind of trigger that fascination on the part of the fan that is making those comments. And it further encourages those parasocial relationships. So when it comes to the escalated behavior towards celebrities, such as stalking, obsession, and other non-socially acceptable behaviors, negative attachment may play a major role, and there may also be more gender differences to take into consideration as well. To learn more about these connections and correlations, I put together a 26-question survey to determine the type of attachment style that a participant was more oriented toward, and to learn what level of celebrity stalking behavior they have engaged in. Results were emailed to myself, and then the data was separated into a chart, which is posted below. Unfortunately, there were only 7 participants in the study, so of course there were no truly significant findings. Of the 2 men that participated, one was more oriented towards secure attachment, while the other was more oriented towards anxious attachment. And of the 5 women who participated, we had 1 woman that was a secure attachment, and then we had 2 that was anxious attachment and 2 that was avoidant attachment. I feel like it's important to point out that if there were more participants in the study, a t-test would have been performed to learn more about the ways in which men and women differ between attachment styles and their levels of celebrity stalking behavior. So, for example, are men with avoidant attachment more likely to stalk celebrities than women with anxious attachment? There are so many different variables and different ways that this could have played out had there been a larger sample size and more time to put into the project to gather the resources necessary to run the data. Because of the low number of survey responses, the data was simply placed into the chart to find correlations through very simple statistical analyses, such as finding the average type of attachment for men and women, and to see which sex had higher rates of celebrity stalking behavior. While one of the 2 men in the study aligned with anxious attachment, he only presented with low levels of celebrity stalking type behavior. The other male in the study reported no celebrity stalking behaviors and of secure attachment. Interestingly, the male who had the secure attachment also reported no or low social media use. Of the 5 female respondents, 2 aligned with avoidant attachment, 2 aligned with anxious attachment, and 1 aligned with secure attachment. The respondent who aligned with a secure attachment style also exhibited no celebrity stalking behavior, while 1 respondent who aligned with avoidant attachment style also exhibited no stalking behavior. The women who aligned with anxious attachment and the woman who aligned with avoidant attachment also had low levels of stalking behavior. Because the sample size was so small, it is difficult to deduce much from the data collected during this project. This means that we will have to rely on data already collected from previous research for the purpose of this project. Not all is lost, though, as the little information gathered does open up more opportunities for further research with a larger sample size. One potential correlation that would be interesting to learn more about, that I really wasn't expecting to see and honestly wasn't looking for to begin with, is the relationship between secure attachments and social media use. So I would like to learn more about whether a lack of social media use facilitates healthier attachments, or if it's the other way around and secure attachments are less likely to engage in social media to begin with. When considering opportunities for further research, We know that some personality disorders are very oriented towards relationships and connections with other people. Dependent personality disorder and borderline personality disorder are two that immediately come to mind for me. I know that these are individuals that really struggle with rejection, and they have a huge sense of, fearing abandonment. So learning how parasocial relationships could actually help these populations might be really beneficial. Also, learning more about the ways in which social media directly influences social connections could also help mental health providers work with individuals who struggle with depression, low self-esteem, anxiety, and social skills so that they can develop healthier habits moving forward and hopefully not rely on these parasocial relationships and social media so much moving forward in their lives. Fortunately, there is so much research available on parasocial relationships, attachment styles, and social media. So if this project interested you, I highly encourage you to read more about these things. These are the references that I utilized for this project. They were very interesting, and they really piqued an interest in me to keep learning more about these issues and how they are all connected. So if you were interested as well, I hope that you take a moment to read these articles.